Bobo was taught a simple rule. It's the same rule you were taught. It's the rule that keeps the entire world spinning. If you work hard, you will get rich. If you produce more, you will earn more. If you are loyal, they will take care of you. So Bobo worked hard. He arrived at 8 a.m. He left at 7 p.m. He skipped lunch to finish the Q3 reports. He learned Excel. He learned Python. He learned how to circle back and synergize. Last year, Bobo doubled his output. He did the work of 2 men. And for all that extra value, for all those late nights and skipped birthdays, the system rewarded Bobo with a 2% raise. But wait, inflation is 4%, which means Bobo worked twice as hard to become 2% poorer. This isn't just Bobo's bad luck. This is a crime scene. If you look at the charts, something terrifying happened to your money in 1971. Before that year, if Bobo made the company $1, the company gave Bobo a dime. They rose together. It was a partnership. But then the chain snapped. For the last 50 years, productivity, that's how hard you work, went up by 65%. But wages, your actual reward, it flatlined. The engine of the economy is running hotter than ever, but the gearbox has been disconnected from your wheels.
You are pedaling faster than any generation in history. You are more educated, more efficient, and more stressed than your parents ever were. The battery is charging, the lights are bright, but the bike hasn't moved an inch in 4 decades. To understand why you feel like you're drowning, we have to look at Bobpa. It's 1980. Bobpa is 25 years old. He works at the business factory. He doesn't have email. He doesn't have Slack. He doesn't have a boss texting him at 9 p.m. asking for a PDF. Bobpa spent 4 hours a day actually working and 4 hours talking about sports at the water cooler. And yet, with that lazy schedule, Bobpa could buy a house, a car, and raise a family of 4 on a single income. He wasn't a genius. He wasn't a high-value male. He just lived in an economy where the pedal was actually connected to the wheels. Today, Bobpa tells Bobo, just work harder, son. Stop buying the fancy coffee. But Bobpa doesn't understand the math. He thinks the game is still fair. He doesn't know that the rules were rewritten while he was asleep. Bobo isn't broke because of coffee. Bobo is broke because he is running a race where the finish line moves backwards every time he takes a step. Now, the gurus will tell you the solution is simple. Just get better skills, bro. Become irreplaceable. So let's play that out. Let's say Bobo listens to Tato. Bobo finds a way to automate his reports. A task that took 5 hours now takes 5 minutes. Logic says Bobo should get to go home early, right? Or Bobo should get paid 5x more for being a genius. Oh, you sweet summer child. In the modern workplace, efficiency is not rewarded with money. It is punished with more work. The moment you prove you can run faster, they don't give you a medal, they just speed up the treadmill. This is the competence curse. If Bobo does 10 tasks in an hour, his quota for tomorrow becomes 12. He didn't secure his future, he just raised his own rent. But the robbery goes deeper than just the office. Remember Bobpa? When Bobpa left work at 5 p.m., he vanished. His boss couldn't find him. He was a ghost. The company paid for 8 hours, and they got 8 hours. The transaction was clean. Technology gave us a miracle. We can work from anywhere. But the corporation heard they can work from everywhere. Bobo answers emails at dinner, he checks Slack on the toilet, he worries about the project while playing with his son Zolo. These are shadow hours, unpaid labor that bleeds into your life. If you take Bobo's salary and divide it by the actual hours he spends working, plus worrying, plus checking emails, his hourly rate isn't $30, it's barely minimum wage. He is on call 24/7 like a heart surgeon, but paid like a junior clerk. And while Bobo's paycheck is stuck in 2010, the world around him is racing towards 2030 prices. This is where the math gets brutal.
Meet Bibi. She's the CFO of this crumbling empire. She remembers when $100 filled a cart. Now, $100 fills a bag. Economists call this cost of living. I call it the great squeeze. Every major expense, housing, food, healthcare, childcare, has exploded in price. But the one thing that pays for it all, wages, has barely moved. It's like trying to fill a swimming pool with a garden hose while the pool is on fire. So Bobo feels guilty. He feels like a failure because he can't provide the life Bobpa provided. But he's not a failure. He's just playing a game where the points don't matter anymore. The disconnect is complete. The harder he pedals, the further behind he falls. So if Bobo is working harder than ever and producing more value than ever, where is the money going? It didn't vanish. Physics says energy cannot be destroyed. It was transferred. This is the part of the story they don't teach in school. It's called the Great Decoupling. Up until the 1970s, companies had a duty to their workers, their town, and their country. But then a new rule was invented: shareholder primacy. The rule said the only thing that matters is the stock price. Suddenly, Bobo wasn't an asset to be nurtured. He was a cost to be cut. Every time they fired Bobo's friends, the stock went up. Every time they cut benefits, the stock went up. Every time they replaced a human with a kiosk, the stock went up. The system began to cannibalize itself. It started eating the very people who built it just to feed the giant in the clouds for one more quarter. Bobpa's advice is poison. Why? Because in a world where they print trillions of dollars, money is trash. The wealthy know this. The giants don't hoard cash. They hoard assets. They buy houses, stocks, gold, and land. This is the difference between labor and capital. Bobo works for money. The giant's money works for him. And here is the sick joke. The harder Bobo works, the more tax he pays. But the giant, he borrows against his assets tax-free. Bobo is playing Monopoly, but he's the only one actually rolling the dice. The giant owns the board. And when you realize the game is rigged, two things happen. You either become Slobo checked out. He calls it quiet quitting. He realized the promise was a lie, so he stopped trying. He exists, but he doesn't live. He is a ghost in the machine. Or you become Coco. Coco is high functioning. She has the degree, she has the job, she has the side hustle, but she is burnt out at 26. She is running on caffeine and anxiety, terrified that one flat tire will ruin her life. This isn't just an economic crisis, it's a crisis of the soul. When you sever the link between work and reward, you break the human spirit.
So, what now? Do we keep pedaling the bike until our hearts explode? Do we listen to Tato and buy a drop-shipping course? Or do we wake up? The solution is not to pedal faster. You cannot outwork a rigged system. The solution is to stop expecting the bike to take you somewhere. Bobo has to realize that his salary is a drug. It is a steady drip of morphine designed to keep him quiet while they harvest his energy. You have to start the transition. It won't happen overnight. You can't just quit. You have mouths to feed, but you must change your strategy from selling time to building equity. The giants got rich by owning things, owning land, owning IP, owning businesses. Bobo owns nothing. Bobo rents his life. This is the only way out. You must use your salary to buy freedom, not things. Every dollar you spend on a status symbol to impress Fifi or Nono is a dollar you gave back to the system. Every dollar you put into an asset, a stock, a side business, a skill that you own, is a brick in your own wall of defense. The financial world is a minefield. Tato wants to scam you. The banks want to debt trap you. The politicians want to tax you. They rely on you being tired. They rely on you being confused. But you aren't alone anymore. Next week, we are going to walk right into the belly of the beast. We are going to expose the banking system, and I'm going to show you why the money in your savings account isn't actually there.
Bobo is done being a victim. Are you? Class dismissed. See you in the trenches.